Hello, welcome to the Jupiter in Scorpio video. My name is Donna Page. My website's Living Light Astrologer. Thank you so much for joining me. So the Jupiter in Scorpio transit, it can be very intense. There might be some times where you find or feel that your life is really changing, and that is what it's all about. So this Jupiter in transit starts October 10th, 2017. We'll go through November 8th, 2018. Jupiter enters Scorpio on October 10th at 9:20 a.m. with the moon in Gemini. The journey of Jupiter traveling through the sign of Scorpio is 13 months, and during the last few months of 2017 and most of 2018, you will be able to use and develop the gifts that this time brings of Jupiter in Scorpio. Knowing what to expect while Jupiter is transiting through Scorpio will help you to understand why things are going on, why they are the way they are, and how you can benefit most from this time. As it moves through your chart, think of the planets as archetypes, as like superheroes and heroines, and they're larger than life representations of aspects of our human self. The signs, like Scorpio's a sign, are territories or cultures or environments that are immersed in the certain tradition and ways of life. So the Jupiter vibe, the archetype, is a can-do attitude. That luck is on my side, that the rules don't apply to me, and with sheer willpower, confidence, and belief, one can overcome anything. And Jupiter embodies the essence of if you can think it, you can do it. It's that king or queen vibe that can make the rules to suit oneself, and with having the world at one's disposal, you know, if you're the king or you're the queen, you're able to be as generous and giving as you want. So Jupiter is not content with an ordinary or small life. And Jupiter wants to experience it all. The concept of Jupiter is to do it, whatever that it is, big, to jump into adventure. So it's jumping into Scorpio, the next full force, not to test the waters, but to dive and plunge into the territory of Scorpio. So Scorpio is the land that when one enters it, demands constant change and transformation. So this is a time of transforming big. It has plenty of large, think of it as a country, Scorpio has these big, large lakes, and they reflect back. So this will be a year of deep reflection and mirroring. The world will reflect back to you an aspect of yourself to see and contemplate. When the winds of the storms cross over the lake, you know, the surface disappears, and you'll be able to dive deep to get to the depth, to reveal truth. This is a time of revealing deep truth. It will be a time of strong emotions and undercurrents. On the surface, so as an example, on the surface, all might appear normal or business as usual. And yeah, but underneath, there's an urge to understand the emotions that go beyond the accepted reasons of why feelings bubble up. Such as, is it really love or is it a sexual attraction? Because Scorpio, you know, there's a sexual component to that. Am I furious at my boss, or is it at myself for not trying to get a better job? Why am I depressed? Is it a call for spiritual transformation, awakening? Or is it because I don't have what I think I'm supposed to have or I should have, all those shoulds in life? This is a time when no stone will be left unturned, so you really look deep. It is a time to get to the underbelly of what has been lurking beneath the exterior tough, I'm a rock, I can handle anything exterior that one can project, to find out what's hiding below of ourselves. Practical considerations in our material world, while Jupiter is in Scorpio, will be health and finances. Jupiter brings the opportunity and protection in health and finances. So the realm of Scorpio matters of health deals with prostate, the uterus, bladder, lower intestines. This can be good news for those dealing with cancers, especially ovarian, prostate, and colon. New treatments will emerge that can help these individuals. And also individuals dealing with intestinal problems, especially if they're brought on from the herbicides, from the GMO grains, they'll get some relief as more awareness of the impact of consuming foods with these foods will make it its way into treatments and preventions. Now, what about finances? It's for the financial side of Jupiter and Scorpio. It will bring an opportunity to borrow money, and part of this is to be careful what you ask for because you can get the money you borrow. There will be a seesaw vibe with the finances. The ability to borrow, buy that new car. The flip side is wanting to be free. Jupiter wants freedom. And definitely doesn't want, Jupiter and Scorpio definitely doesn't want to be controlled by owing money to any institution. On the business level, this can be a year of a lot of mergers. Companies can be swallowed up by larger corporations. So if you work for a company and you hear those rumors, then don't be surprised that by the end of the year of this transit, that you get a notice that your paycheck's coming from a different, company, from a different account. Another area of expansion will be in drugs that prolong life. Jupiter deals with death. So expansion in funeral homes, different types of, how last day things, companies that deal with, also Jupiter will impact companies that deal with extracting natural resources from the underground. And Jupiter in Scorpio will reveal the need and the benefit of working together, because that's joint resources. How can you combine your assets and resources to help each other out? So you know how to do this, I know how to do that, let's combine. So like neighbors sharing knowledge or tools or, for the common good of the community. And Jupiter will also, and Scorpio will also support you. Like you can get this urge to clear out the old, get rid of it. Old bedding, furniture, clothing, anything that you've been collecting along in your way of life that you no longer use or like. So that spirit of donating to organizations to pass on your stuff will bring you more freedom, more space. And this is a time to give a critical eye to the purchases or gifts that you brought into your home over the years. When you enter into your room and you look around, what feeling? Scorpio, water sign, it's about feeling. What feeling does it bring? That which does not elicit an emotion of deep stillness and contentment may be what's next to recycle. Clearing the space to allow for the new you. Look around. Is this really still me? Is it reflecting me? That reflective of that lake. So you clear the space to allow the new you to come in. The shadow side of Jupiter in Scorpio can be jealousy, can be envy, can even be hatred. And the good news about these emotions emerging is recognizing for what it is, that any feeling of lack, that someone else has something more than you that you don't have, it's false. The gift is to discover that there is no lack, that your life is all right just as it is, and that your path, your own individual path, will bring to you everything that your soul needs for this life and this lifetime. The extreme emotion of hatred, whether it's directed at self or others, tears off that band-aid of core wounds, of loss and desperation. Meditation will have a profound impact of healing component. What can emerge is this tremendous compassion for self and others. And when embracing the vibration and forgiveness, and when embracing forgiveness and directing the vibration of forgiveness, feel it. and direct it towards the object of envy or hatred, then those bounds, those negative cords are cut and you're free. Jupiter wants freedom from the toxic emotions that held you prisoner. So Jupiter, you can't, with discussing Scorpio, the subject of sex is part of the mix. In the realm of Scorpio, sex, is part of the fabric of life, thinking about it, engaging in it, exploring it. So Jupiter in Scorpio will push the boundaries of sexuality. The increase in sex trade awareness will come up, and help for those innocent victims and children in the sex trade, sold into the sex trade, will become available. Power struggles can happen between these organizations, because Scorpio is the underground, the dark, that sex trade, mafia groups, kidnapping, drugs. So that stuff can come up more in the news. Death by drugs, unfortunately, an increase in drug overdoses that result in death are expected during this time, especially because Neptune is in Pisces and Jupiter in Scorpio. There's a continued rise in the opioid crisis. Jupiter in Scorpio also has that daredevil side that dares want to walk the edge to see what happens. So that can impact the youth with trying out drugs, and to be that's a caution. And among the young adults, this correlates to the sense that other people die, or a Scorpio death, but I'm invincible. And the temptation to alter into other states of consciousness is greatly enhanced through Jupiter and Scorpio. This is primarily with drugs and sex, but with other feats of riding the edge of defying death, such as extreme sports. Extreme sports will be another example, along with tempting fate by wanting that selfie while standing at the very edge of the Grand Canyon rim. Other realms of psychic development, that's another huge thing of Jupiter and Scorpio, really developing your intuitive talents. Shamanic experiences will develop. Now is the time to develop your skills in intuition. Telepathy, clairvoyance, esoteric wisdom, communicating with spirit guides, shape-shifting between worlds. There will be an expansion of interest in these areas, and it will be easier to find classes that resonate with your interests, whatever you're drawn to. And Jupiter expands whatever it passes. It expands the occult knowledge and experience with reality-altering substances that take you to another dimension will, become you'll just find it more around you, like peyote or ayahuasca ceremonies that connect you to the other realm, as well as help you develop relationships with your spirit guides. As Jupiter moves through Scorpio, several areas of life will come to the forefront. So the need to let go, move on will be one priority. Scorpio deals with deep issues of life and death, and this will be a year that you may feel the impact of death closer. Not everyone will have someone close to them pass to the other world, but the feeling that death could come calling at any time seems more real during this time while Jupiter is transiting through Scorpio. Rebuilding one's life will be so in your face, so neat, like a need. It can be forced upon you, by circumstance, or forced upon somebody that by circumstances. And the precariousness of life is palpable during this time. People that whether they're near and dear to your heart or casual acquaintances or even strangers in their life and death struggles, is meant to bring to your consciousness awareness that life is passing and it is time to do what you feel passionate about. Many people will find that the circumstances force them into a situation that change is inevitable. For some, it can be that they are laid off from their job or from natural disasters such as the recent hurricanes, fires, and floods. Still, for others, letting go of the old and rebuilding one's life can be brought up upon because of a divorce or a major breakup, an illness of a family member. Looking at the chart of the ingress of Scorpio, we can get even more information on where most of our potential to develop this energy will come from. The day that Jupiter moves into Scorpio, the moon is in Gemini in a grand mutable cross with Mars and Venus in Virgo, with Chiron in Pisces and Saturn in Sagittarius. This is an extremely complex energy. It points to emotional healing in relationships especially, and our thoughts and beliefs about what quote unquote should or should not be, our opinions, our thoughts, our beliefs. The transformations component of Jupiter and Scorpio will hinge on letting go of the need to be right, the need to be smart. Look at me, I'm so smart. It's like you can know it, you don't need to prove it. And the acknowledge and the need or the desire to be acknowledged for one way, your own way of thinking. Again, you don't need to prove it, you know it. At the same time, lines can be drawn between different belief camps and polarized in their thinking, leading to wounding others, especially financially, because Scorpio deals with finances or with toxic emotions, such as hate or verbal abuse, bullying. On the other hand, the death and rebirth of relationships that are willing to confront each other, their differences, and battle it out to the end can end up being stronger and more loving and connected than ever thought possible. This applies to personal relationships as well as organizations like groups, if you're as well as that feel competitive against each other, or the members are at odds within that group or organization. Jupiter does not rule the sign of Scorpio. Mars and Pluto do. Mars is in Virgo in order to make the best use of Jupiter's generosity and bring the abundance and luck into your life. The component of understanding Mars in Virgo is vital. Your luck during this time and opportunity will show up through the willingness to work at the little things in life that you might normally think of as grunt work. Yet it will be through the commitment of the day-to-day routine of getting things done that will expedite your growth and open the doors and the blessings. Mars in Virgo is working with Venus in Libra, who is working with Venus in Virgo. The elements of bringing to mind to a point of peace, Mercury, Libra, thinking, peace, and the balance along with the nature of being mindful and discerning to what you value most opens the floodgates to Jupiter's flow of grace. In conclusion, this is a time that Jupiter in Scorpio can be fruitful no matter what sign your sun is in. Obviously, as your sun is in Scorpio, you may feel this urge to take more risks than others, to urge to expand more. However, everybody has Jupiter or has Scorpio and Jupiter transiting through your chart somewhere. It is important to think holistically, and not that you will be left out of the opportunity and the good luck and opportunity that Jupiter is bringing. Depending on which house in your chart the sign of Scorpio resides, that will be where you can experience the blessings of Jupiter more. Here, now I'm going to go through the different signs. Okay, so you might want to listen to if your sun is in Aries, your ascendant is in Aries. So let's start with Aries. Aries is like the ram within. We'll be reaching for new heights and physical and emotional heights. If your life has been void of intimate partnerships, this is the year that you can find someone to share experience with. If not your life, caution is urged in accepting new credit cards. Impulse spending could result in frustration when the bill comes around. That said, if you need to get something that needs a loan, this is a good time an opportunity where you can get one. Okay, Taurus. Jupiter is looking at you from across the skies with the Scorpio eagle eye goading you to take a chance with partnerships. It may be for business or pleasure. The key will be to listen to your intuition, to know who you can trust and who has the vibe of a taker and not a true give and take equality. The universe will present to you people that you may envy, whether you envy their position, you envy their money, their freedom, their relationship, whatever it is, realize it's a reflection in your life of what might be missing and a push to do what it takes in order to bring that which you experience as lacking into your life. Okay, for Gemini, your opportunity will be found through your work and daily routine. However, a bit of deep research will be appropriate to get to the core of what really turns you on. Don't take it lightly. The willingness to discover your true work that you will excel at is worth the time spent in contemplative time. Jupiter is cheering you on from the sidelines for you to keep your mind, body, and spirit fine-tuned, as this will open your psychic channels to know who and when to call for that great new job opening. Okay. Cancer Sun, Cancer Ascendant. This is the time to follow your heart to what you love to do. This is the year to break out your paintbrushes, the sewing machine, the camera, whatever your creative urge leads you. It isn't about being good at it. It's about being passionate towards it. Let your heart open to new romantic connections, whether it's another human being, whether it's a four-legged creature or a winged companion. Just let your heart open to love. Leo, deep knowing from within is your key to good fortune this year. If you have been stuck anywhere in your life, give therapy a try. It might be traditional or alternative, but whatever avenue you choose, the willingness to search deep within your heart to understand what your ego identity is holding on to and holding you back is the key to your liberation with Jupiter and Scorpio. Now, Virgo. Thinking and not thinking is your path to awareness this year for this Jupiter and Scorpio year. Break out your journals. Keep up with your intuitive insights. Write that book that has been hidden within you. Start a blog. Your deepest knowledge comes from your intuitive self. Still your mind and your communication with the other side will just flow. Libra, with Jupiter in going through your second house, your mind will open to the greater possibilities of financial wealth and abundance. If you've ever had the inkling to earn a little money through investments or with your intuitive abilities, this is, while Jupiter is a Scorpio, it's a time to give it a shot. Scorpio, if Jupiter traveling in Scorpio for you, you may find the desire to shed an old image and become more mysterious. and it can be reflected through your appearance and clothing choices. Also, feeling and looking good is on your side. It's like break out the I feel sexy clothes and get ready for a big dose of self-confidence. In everything, of course, all the other things are very important, very intuitive time. Growth, huge, tremendous growth. Sagittarius, same for you, huge time of growth. And Jupiter is expanding your psychic side like big time. Dreams, meditations, sudden insights that will be giving you all the information, will expand your knowledge of how, what, where to put your time and energy. To move your life, to have more of what you want. It's a great way to honor this vibe is to allow yourself to splurge on a yoga or meditation retreat. The deep stillness that you will find from those retreats will have a profound transformative effect on your well-being in your life. Also prepare you for the following year when Jupiter goes in your sign. Capricorn, your intuitive skills will be called upon to know who is in your corner and who isn't. The openings that will bring you the opportunities you want in life will come from friends. And with your willingness to engage in groups or organization whose mission is to bring about personal transformation. You may be asked to lead a group this year, this Jupiter and Scorpio year. Jupiter is urging you to step up to the plate and take a risk at putting yourself in charge of a project. However, this is only meant to be one that you feel passionate about and one that feels deep and purposeful to your personal mission in life. Aquarius, Jupiter is protecting you in your professional life. Even if chaos ensues with the company you work for, and the company you work for is like on the outs, something funky about it, realize in the end it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. Following your passion is key now, and knowing when to sidestep the power struggles will help also. If you find yourself in a toxic work environment, call upon your spirit guides to help you, to protect you. Fine-tune your chakras. And this is time to fine-tune your chakras and release any negative emotions. And you will find that paths open up to you in a big way for the better job or promotion. Pisces, this is the perfect year for you to learn more about intuitive development. Opportunities will present themselves to you in many forms. There may be a group or an organization that you notice that is presenting lectures on psychotherapy or other transformative disciplines. Traveling somewhere to experience a life-altering transition is also in the cards. So life-altering transformation. A friend may suggest a trip to the rainforest to participate in a shamanic journey, or you may travel to a convention that has classes on connecting with the other side. Whatever you choose, know that this year your greatest opportunity will present itself through a learning experience that will help you go beyond where you are now. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, my name's Donna Page. My website's Loving Light Astrologer. And much love and light to all.